Hey, it's Patrick, and let's talk about Performance Machine brakes. Now, Performance Machine has been in business for over 50 years in Southern California. Way back in 1970, Perry Sands founded this company in his garage, and they basically invented the braking space for Harley Davidsons. They're the first people to start making aftermarket calipers for Harleys, and since then have basically pioneered this space. And unfortunately, braking, up until I would say here recently, has kind of always been an afterthought on Harley Davidsons. Everybody always wants to make them go faster because they're kind of slow out of the box. But it's always comes around later that you need to make them stop. And PM has been doing that for a very long time, and they've kind of like really honed this down to a science. Now, since then, they've really expanded product line into other things, but this is the staple, and this is what they're really, really known for. And if you want to know more about the manufacturing process, we have a video on that where we toured their facility. It's really unbelievable how they make all this right there in Southern California. But let's talk brakes. Calipers. This is what the company was founded on, and we have a nice wide range. As far as fitment is concerned on this stuff, I mean, goes way back. So like they have been making this stuff since the 70s, so you're gonna find even vintage style calipers going way back, but going all the way up to present to M8 stuff, full coverage here. And as far as pricing on this stuff, this is a top of the line product, so it's gonna be kind of priced accordingly. Generally speaking, a regular caliper, like a 4-piston style caliper, is probably gonna set you back around the $450 range. But yes, premium stuff here, so you're gonna pay for it, but it's gonna be worth it. This is hot rod stuff. You heard me mention a 4-piston caliper. I would say that's kind of the standard caliper. And what that means is you have 4 pistons driving this brake, whereas typically on some of the older Harleys, actually maybe not even that old, going back into like the early 2000s, there are still single piston calipers where they're just pushing from one side, pushing, squeezing on that rotor. These are gonna have 2 pistons on each side squeezing, not only giving you much more braking power, but much more feel and kind of control of your brakes. Also, 6-piston calipers. You really want to go hot rod stuff, you have the 6-piston caliper. And not only the 6 pistons, you can see the 3 on the side here, they get bigger as the disc goes through the caliper. It goes small, medium, large on the pistons, and that gives you more of that like nice progressive braking feel. If you really want to go into like some hot rod performance stuff, which is happening with the baggers and the Dynas and stuff like that, radial mount calipers. Sport bikes have had radial mount calipers for a very, very long time. And here in the last few years, we've seen that technology bleed over into Harley Davidsons, although PM has offered a radial caliper for a while. And what that does, instead of bolting it like at an angle to the fork leg, it moves that caliper back to the outside of the disc here, outside of the rotor, and that gives you more power. So the farther you bite on the outside, that gives you more power, more braking power. So that's what a radial caliper does. Now, just note, if you're going to try to bolt a radial caliper to your bike, you're either going to need an adapter or you're going to need a fork leg set up for that. So you can't just bolt those right onto the stock leg. You will need an adapter, but if you're looking for the most bite, that's what you're going to get is a radial caliper. Now, what drives that? If you're going to upgrade, especially to like a single disc to a dual disc, you can put great brakes on, put good lines on. That's great, and you have a huge upgrade. If you really want the best braking, you need to upgrade master cylinders. And again, PM at it for a long time. They have their classic master cylinders out there that are great. But what I wanted to highlight was these radial master cylinders here. And these are available in matching clutch sides too. So if you have a cable clutch, you can get a match to this. You have a hydraulic clutch, you can also get a match for this. And I have used these. I have these on my personal FXR that we built. This is a great setup. Now it drives it. It just gives you, again, things you always hear in braking talk are feel and power, and that's what it is. So instead of when you pull the lever, it like levering into a piston that pulls this way, it pulls straight in here. And again, sport bike's been doing this for a long time. You look on any of your like kind of Ducatis or anything like that, you're gonna see these from the factory with these radial style. Also, you have a lot of adjustment in your lever, which is nice. So if you like a lever farther out or back in, you can have it. And another nice thing is these kind of integrated reservoirs, really, really clean setup here. Available in this nice gold. You get the standard black. If you're looking to do something hot rod, you have the gold touches here as well. Going over to the actual rotors, again, if you're gonna go for the gusto in your braking, that stock caliper is just like a solid a solid rotor. It's not the best thing in the world. Is it going to work? Yeah. But if you want to get something that has the best braking, you want to go to something like a floater here. And what that means is this actual braking surface is separate from the carrier. These buttons here is what hold it together. But what it allows that rotor to do is float inside that piston. Because even though you have everything lined up on the bike, when it grabs a hold of that, there may still be a little bit left and right or something like that, and it may not grab nice and flat. There may be just a little bit of tilt to it. So if you have a floating rotor, it's gonna allow that rotor to, bam, get centered up in that caliper and have a nice bite to it. And again, that nice feel. Wave rotors here. Again, sport bike's been doing this for a while. You're seeing that technology come over, just dissipate heat better. It's a nice drilled rotor, but having that wave rotor in there just gets, you know, all the nice top of the line stuff. Again, if you want to run that hot rod gold racy look, you can. But you combine this all together and you're going to have some serious brakes for your Harley, and you can go all the way around. These aren't just available in front calipers. This is actually a rear mount right here. Don't forget about your brakes on your bikes, folks. You're making those performance baggers, making those performance Dynas and Softails. Brakes are very, very important. And quite frankly, I don't know if you can do better than a PM setup. If you're looking for more information on this, go ahead and click that info tab on your desktop or mobile device. You can read other riders' reviews and all the specs about all the Performance Machine brake parts. Still looking for more information? Go ahead and reach out to our customer service team. They would love to talk to you about what works best for you, your motorcycle, and your budget. I am Patrick. Thank you for watching. Now go work on those motorcycles.